Hiya guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I will be making a super fluffy jumper using some yarn from my stash that I've had for well over 2 years. As I am showing you now, I will be using the Bernat Pipsqueak Stripes yarn in the colour Dance Party, along with a 5.5mm hook, which I will show you in just a second, or at least attempt to. I have 2 balls of this yarn and I am hoping it'll be enough. Going into this jumper, I didn't have much of an idea of what I wanted to do other than a raglan style jumper. So starting from the top of the neck, working down and then working down into the body. So to do this you need to start off with a chain, which is what I am showing you here, before you join it in a ring and then continue working double crochets or half double crochets or whatever stitch you wish to do down the body. I wasn't following a pattern for this jumper because I've found most of the raglans I make don't fit super well, so I did keep trying it onto my body periodically to make sure it would fit correctly. An important thing to note when making a raglan is that you don't want your beginning chain to be twisted. So that's what I'm doing here. I am going through and untwisting the chain, which was a nightmare in the fuzzy yarn, but I did get there in the end with lots of time and taking it slow. So here I am joining it in the round to make a little circle before I then go on, and I think I did half double crochets for the stitching. I don't show it in the footage, but I did go back in and undo most of this jumper because I found it wasn't sitting properly. But as I am doing here, I'm doing half double crochets. I think in the end I did alternate between half double crochet and double crochet, except for the back, which I just did in double crochet to make it a little bit longer. Sort of like doing short rows, but easier. I understand it looks quite like a box in this footage, but it does curve around when you add more rows to it. I think I might throw you into some music and I will come back when we're doing something a little more exciting. Maybe it's not as visually exciting, but I always get excited when I start a new colour, which is what I'm just about to do, and the purple's in. Hooray! So I do get excited when that happens, so I figured I'd jump in and share my excitement with you. Although I filmed most of my footage at my desk, I did include this one clip of me working on my jumper in my bed because I did work on it elsewhere. I think I took it to a cafe and worked on it at a cafe, so here's something just a little bit different before we return to the main program. Returning back to the tried and true desk, you can see that I have made quite a big bit of difference since I last checked in. This was probably after the cafe, after I'd realised it was all wrong and had to undo it all and restart. I didn't bore you with that footage. But here you can see I am attaching onto one of the sleeves to lengthen the sleeves. I did this by working a couple of rows on each side and then reserving the rest of the yarn to work on the body, because at this point it was very cropped. I would like to mention there's nothing wrong with a cropped jumper, but it's not personally the look I was going for this jumper, although it did end up a fair bit shorter than I would have liked. I couldn't get any more yarn, okay? It was sold out. As I was using scraps, I did have to tie a lot of ends together just to continue on making sure the colour changes changed where I wanted them to, which resulted in a fair few knots. I personally use the magic knot to join my yarn. I've never had a problem with it coming undone, but please share with me what type of knots or not knots you use to join new yarns together. Although I don't show it in this clip, you can see off to the sides that I have completed the sleeves. Sadly, I can't show you any footage of this because I did it off camera, but I used up the rest of the tealy green and the yellow to do the sleeve, and then I just used the pink and purple on the body. After trying this on, I realised it was going to be a fair bit shorter than I would have liked. In order to make my yarn go ever so slightly further, I did add 2 slits to the side of the jumper, which I decreased in a little bit just to make them more angular. This also allows for breathing room around the stomach, so it's not super tight and constricting. I just kept working back and forth until I ran out of the purple yarn, which you can see here I had very little left. I was working on both panels at the same time so that they would be the same length. And here I am fastening off and finishing off the jumper, well, trying to finish it off. before I slip stitch and call it a day. I don't think I've mentioned it in the video yet, but this yarn is so soft and so tactile. It is also very warm. I think it'll be a good winter jumper. Not that I made it in winter. Please don't judge me too harshly. This is my first try on video. I have no idea what I'm doing. But as you can see here, I am showing you the jumper. It is a fair bit cropped compared to what I would have liked, but I do love the feel of it. It is so soft, so warm. It fits quite well. I'm glad I went back and made the alterations I made. If I could change anything about this jumper, I would have it be slightly longer. I do like my jumpers to cover my pant belt if at all possible. I have also included some flat lays for you so you can get a better idea of the jumper size. But I just want to say thank you all so much for watching and tuning in for this video this week. Hopefully I'll post again next week for you, and there's a little surprise guest at the end. Really, little man?